weeks absolutely free. To sign up, visit epaper.nationmedia.com or email subscription@ke.nationmedia.com. Offer valid till 28th February 2021.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Lina.
Thank you for making us.
Thank you for making us your favorite drive show crew.
Nation FM, we love you.
Oh, thank you, people. This is the podcast I'm stitching. I got you good. You want to make cheesy.
Tunajibamba na show yenyu. Muendelee hivyo hivyo.
I came to rap it up, do my things.
Thank you for listening to 96.3 Nation FM.
Of course, Antona Obina.
And Obina.
Call him taking control.
Mad love, mad respect.
I run the city.
Cabling tips. Use cables from a reputable manufacturer made from 99.99% pure copper and the best insulation. Use a certified installer. Scratch to verify and authenticate your cables. We manufacture an extensive range of power cables.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako. This is NTV.
Good afternoon. Hope you've had a productive Friday so far. Welcome to a 1 o'clock news update. I'm Mark Masai. And we start on a political note. President Uhuru Kenyatta is set to pitch camp in central Kenya for the next 4 days. He's already arrived at the Sagana State Lodge. And the visit is seen as a move to rally his political turf to support the BBI report, as well as putting his house in order against claims that his popularity is dwindling in his backyard. Today, the president will be meeting members of county assembly from the region, and tomorrow is expected to start meeting members of parliament. Leaders allied to Deputy President William Ruto have, however, not been invited to the meeting, but someone who has been invited in his capacity as a journalist, of course, is Melita Oletenges, our correspondent in the area. Melita, is looking like a busy 4 days for you.
Yes, indeed, Mark. It is going to be a busy 4 days as President Uhuru Kenyatta embarks on a 4-day tour here in Mount Kenya region. He has arrived here at the Sagana State Lodge, where today he will be meeting MCAs, members of county assemblies from the entire region, and members of parliament are also expected to make their way here today or tomorrow. But we will be keeping a keen eye on that. But on top of the list, Mark, as you've rightly put it, is that the president is expected to rally his political backyard to support the BBI report. Remember, earlier this week, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission actually said that they had verified the 1 million signatures needed to actually table the bill in the county assemblies. And as the bill is now with the county assemblies, and of course the process is set to begin at the county level. That is on top of the list. But also, I remember, Mark, the president's visit comes against the backdrop of his dwindling popularity in Mount Kenya region. And this, of course, this meeting will go away to ensure that the president is fixing up his political backyard. Today, he's meeting the MCAs and, of course, the MPs. So we expect a number of issues related to the region are going to be discussed, touching on development issues, touching on the succession politics of this region, and, of course, also just to also try to quell the political temperatures in the country. Remember, the Tanga side and the Kieleweke have been taking on each other in what may be seen as a battle for supremacy and also the succession politics of 2022. So here at the Sagana State Lodge, Mark, already MCAs are seated inside the dome here, and journalists have not been allowed to go in. Even the MCAs who have been allowed to go in are not going inside the compound with their phones. They're supposed to leave their phones outside, and then they go inside. So it's top-notch meeting, quite a private meeting of a kind here, but we will be sure enough to get the details of the meeting from the leaders when they come out. Remember yesterday, Mark, 41 MPs from allied to Deputy President William Ruto wrote an open letter to President Kenyatta explaining that they were not invited to the meeting, also highlighting some of the key issues that they feel are some of the reasons as to why they may not be a part of this convention. And remember, just highlighting, saying that, you know, they can't sell Raila Odinga in central Kenya, saying that the president's sentiments as he was campaigning also leaned towards not supporting Raila Odinga. And this in particular is a matter that has a lot of weight here in central Kenya. People have been discussing about the succession politics here in the region. But apart from that, also they discussed about the betrayal, terming that President Uhuru Kenyatta has betrayed his deputy William Ruto, and just some of the key issues that they feel that they should be a pact between the Deputy President William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta. So, Mark, just a number of issues that will be discussed in this meeting. We expect that, of course, out of this meeting, we will be able to know the direction that the president is going to take, both politically and the economic turnout that will come from this meeting. And of course, he will be visiting projects. Remember, there are so many projects here in Mount Kenya region, despite the fact that the leaders have been saying here that they are receiving the short end of the stick. But the president says through his spokesperson Kanzedena said that he will be visiting different projects in this region, and will be keeping our ears and eyes on the ground just to see how his 4-day tour here in Mount Kenya will go. Over to you, Mark.
Melita, I'm sure this is not the last we're hearing from you in this weekend, as it starts off the meetings there at Sagana State Lodge. That is set to change a lot on the political landscape moving forward. Thank you for that. On to something else that is meant to change things and how it'll play out, especially for the counties. The Council of Governors is meeting today to elect a new chairperson of the council amid discontent among a section of the members. 5 governors are squaring it out for the top seat. We now will be joining Vincent Odor, hopefully in the next few minutes. He is following up on this particular story. Again, what will happen at Sagana, and the main agenda there is definitely going to have its effect and impact in this particular vote that is going on right now, even as the BBI drive moves now to the counties. So it is something still of keen interest, not just for the governors, but even the national government. The federal government of Somalia has rejected a report by the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, which found no evidence showing that Kenya was interfering in Somalia's affairs. The regional pathfinding team also found that Kenya was not arming militants to attack and destabilize areas in Somalia along its shared border with Kenya. The latest development comes hours after Kenya stated that it will not be drawn into Somalia's internal woes following the constant accusations by Somalia that Kenya is meddling in its affairs.
As the diplomatic tension between Kenya and Somalia deepens, the government of Kenya has blamed Somalia's leadership for causing unnecessary conflict to deflect attention of the Somali people from the upcoming presidential election in the Horn of Africa nation.
It is also clear to us that this event that we've been witnessing have their genesis in the domestic political activities in Somalia, with every effort being made by the leaders in that country to give them an external dimension or external angle. As a country, we want to state very clearly and categorically that we will not accept to be drawn into internal politics of Somalia.
The presidential election is scheduled to take place on the 8th of February amid a recurring political disagreement over the electoral processes. The government of Kenya has in the meantime termed as misdirected allegations by Somalia that Kenyan troops indulge in the illegal sugar and coal trade in its port of Kismayo. Kenya has also dismissed allegations that it armed local militia to attack Somalia's forces along the border.
It is here that most Somalis run to whenever violence breaks out in their country. They still do cross over into Kenya to seek certain services. And as a peace-loving people or a peace-loving country, we cannot stop them from crossing into our country. But when they cross, indeed, they overstretch our facilities. But we still bend backwards to allow them to come, not just for health services, but also for education, for business.
Somalia on Wednesday criticized the findings of IGAD's fact-finding commission that contended it found no evidence showing that Kenya was interfering in Somalia's affairs. Somali Information Minister Osman Dube dubbed the report biased in favor of Kenya. But in a statement, Djibouti, a member of the IGAD bloc, has defended the report, saying it was carried out with professionalism and impartiality. Djibouti has now asked the Assembly of the Heads of State and Government of IGAD to determine a way forward and decide the best way to achieve reconciliation between Kenya and Somalia. For now, both countries have remained firm on their stance, with Kenya calling for an end to the conflict.
You cannot necessarily begin to accuse the same hand that feeds you.
Zainab Ismail, NTV.
Let's draw focus back to our internal affairs. God knows we have enough to deal with. There is a worrying state of affairs on the security front, more so because of leaders who have been accused of being behind the latest incidences of violence, whether it is from the political gatherings or from banditry attacks up north. The trail of investigations is leading to politicians. Following the spate of violent political gatherings held in the name of BBI sensitization tours and attacks in parts of Baringo, West Pokot and Marsabit, the Security Committee in the National Assembly is raising the alarm. The committee is working on amendments to the National Cohesion and Integration Act aimed at holding to account those accused of inciting people to violence. Members of the committee will also be meeting with the Interior Ministry Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i next week to discuss the unstable situation in the country.
Kwa hivyo tunaangazia hiyo sheria iwe kali kabisa, fine iwe kali na pia wao wanaweza kufungwa. Si ati mtu anazungumza, analeta utatanishi, alafu watu wanapigana, baadaye akishikwa hakuna ile kipengele ambaye inahakikisha anawekwa ndani.
We don't have much development. What we have more is talk from January to December. We really need to change as a country if we really love this country. You cannot say you love this country and all you do is make a lot of noise. We have hospitals to make. We need our children to go to school.
Saboti Member Parliament Caleb Amisi is also raising the alarm over the escalation of political polarization in the country ahead of the 2022 general election. The legislator cited the violent disruption of rallies of ODM leader Raila Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto, stating this is a recipe for chaos.
Now we have a point whereby the drums of war have started beating, and they're beating so loudly. And we can hear them beating from Nairobi, the epicenter of all violence. Now we are a warning, as the young leaders of this nation, we do not want to inherit a country that is balkanized in tribal units. We do not want to inherit a divided nation. We want to be future leaders, but we want to be future leaders of a united country. It is a warning to the leaders who have been before us, the top leaders of this nation.
Meanwhile, the Eldoret Diocese Catholic Bishop Dominic Kimengich has called on the government to exercise restraint as the operation to flush out bandits in Kapedo intensifies. The bishop said that the manner in which the operation is being carried out is infringing on some basic human rights in Kapedo.
A great concern, because if innocent people are really suffering, and they are, then there is need to look at also this operation and to call upon the security forces to really show restraint and to ensure that they go after the bandits, after those who have been killing people, and ensure that the innocent lives are not lost. Because we have heard even about government officials who have been killed there, and now they are saying that even sometimes when they see young people just passing by, they shoot at them, they kill them, without verifying whether they are bandits or not. So that is something which really is of great concern, and that's why I wanted to make that appeal.
Back to politics. The Council of Governors is meeting today to elect a new chairperson of the council amid discontent among a section of the members. As announced earlier, 5 governors are squaring it out for the top seat, and political journalist Vincent Oduor is there and joins us with what is happening from the very latest. Vincent, a lot will happen here that will change the look of the political landscape moving forward.
Absolutely. Today is the D-Day for the Council of Governors, whereby governors will elect one person to be the chairperson of the Council of Governors. And among those who will be squaring it out for the top seat today is, we have Fuale Governor Salim Kuria, we have Kinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru, we have also Makueni Governor Kivuka Kifuana, Embu Governor Martin Wambora, and also Washingishu Governor Mandago, who will be squaring it out for the top seat, which is the chairman of the COG. And also being told that those who will be gunning for the vice chairperson of COG includes Kisumu Governor Anyang' Nyong'o and also Kisii Governor James Ongwae, and the two will be fighting for the position of vice chair. But I'm being told that those who are emerging likely to take the 2 top seats today is likely to be Embu Governor Martin Wambora, and also Vice Chairman is likely to go to Kisii Governor James Ongwae. And therefore we are just waiting for them to conclude the voting, and we get to see who will be elected as moving forward. This is coming at a time for now.
Apologies, just having to leave that meeting as they call it to order with the national anthem. Vincent Oduor is following up on the meeting that will determine the next Council of Governors chairperson as well as a vice chairperson. A lot of interest here politically, and we'll see how that plays out. Speaking of political interest and Kidero's interest, this is the former Nairobi Governor Evans Kidero. In his interest now in Homa Bay County, gubernatorial politics has triggered different reactions as ODM legislators from the county rubbish his bid, accusing him of disloyalty to the party. Speaking yesterday during the burial of Kibra MP, the late Kibra MP, Kibra MP Imran Okoth's mother in Kabondo Kasipul, beg your pardon for that confusion, the MPs criticized former Nairobi Governor Evans Kidero of undermining their leadership. Bernardo Juang was there and filed this report.
Kidero's entry into Homa Bay County gubernatorial politics has complicated issues for ODM, given that a number of other Orange Party diehards, including party chairman John Mbadi, Moses Kajwang, and woman representative Gladys Wanga, are also eyeing this seat.
I know the current governor has done his best bit, but with what he had, he did what he could. So we'll come and take over from where he left, and then we'll see what difference we can make to the people of Homa Bay. And what's wrong with me coming from here? I'm a Kenyan with a Kenyan ID. I can vie anywhere. I can vie in Mombasa, I can vie in Garissa, I can vie in Kiambu, I can vie in Kajiado, or I can vie in Turkana. So I don't see a problem with that. But my passion is here because these are my people. I want to change their lives.
Yesterday, during the burial of Kibra MP Imran Okoth's mother in Kabondo Kasipul, Homa Bay County, legislators maintained that they will ensure that the party does not allow people with flip-flopping support to take over Homa Bay County's leadership.
The people of Nairobi want to take mediocrity and incompetence from Nairobi and dump it in Homa Bay. And I want to assure you, the people of Homa Bay, we are going to agree at the end of the day. The bottom line is that this is an ODM county, and it is going to be an ODM government.
Homa Bay is not a dumping site.
Homa Bay leaders are very clever. The leaders from Homa Bay and the people of Homa Bay are going to make a decision come 2022.
But Kidero, the former Nairobi governor, said during his last tour in the county that he has been approached by a number of residents to come back home and seek election. He said he is the best bet to replace Akilaus Otieno Awiti due to his experience, education and managerial skills.
It is important that we elect leaders who are knowledgeable, leaders who are experienced, leaders who are passionate, leaders who drive for results and drive to change people's lives.
And I believe that the governorship of Kidero is going to offer three things. Number one, management. Governorship requires management, a person with managerial skills. Number two, it requires a person with ability to interconnect with the international community and any other development partners who are able to join hands, because the exchequer release is never enough.
Three are not the only aspirants for the governor's seat. Others are Deputy Governor Hamilton Orata, former Kasipul Kabondo Oyugi Magwanga, County Secretary Isaiah Ogwe, businessman Jared Kiasa, Kupet Secretary General Akelo Misori, and Homabay County Finance Minister Nicholas Koriko.
Tuoneshe anataka kutufanyia nini na gani ashafanya ndio tumkaribishe nyumbani na nini atatufanyia tena.
Bernard Ojuang, NTV.
That report brings us to our break on NTV at 1. I'll be back with more, including sports and the international news.
Ruiru Mabati Factory offers best quality mabati at the most affordable prices. We pride in our 10 years experience. Our products have 15 years warranty and are KEBS certified. We manufacture box profile, Europe tile, Jenga tile, corrugated S-profile, among others, in a wide variety of colors. Enjoy our free delivery in just 72 hours. To order, call us now on 0111 050 700. Ruiru Mabati Factory, Mali Safi kwa bei poa. Cabling.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Breaking news from Molfix. Let's see what they're developing right now.
Pants is just for me. It really feels very comfy.
Molfix pants with anatomic fit technology. New Molfix pants, an invention from babies for babies.
You should also try Molfix.
Maji mdosi wangu ametupa simu yangu ndani ya maji.
Mdosi wako kwa sawa. Venye Nkirota ameniambia ajui na akimpigia simu ashiki. Hi guy, what
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
Welcome back to NTV at 1. The Orange Democratic Party, ODM, is planning to support a candidate of the Maendeleo Chapcha Party in the upcoming Machakos senatorial by-election. Machakos County ODM branch chairman Peter Mutulu says they are reciprocating the honor accorded to them in the past by the party.
We are proposing that Honorable John Mutua Katuku to be supported by the entire ODM fraternity. This morning, we had met 8 counties, sub-counties. We have 2 major committees in this branch, in this county. That is County Coordinating Committee and the sub-county committees. All of us are 16 now in number. Nobody was absent. And we have now sat down and concluded that this time around, Honorable Katuku is going to be our candidate.
And now with some losses and profits from the EABL, the net income of alcoholic beverages manufacturer East Africa Breweries EABL declined by 47.4% in the 6 months ended December 2020 compared to the income reported a year earlier. The company's performance was hit by the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which shaved off 1.4 billion shillings from the company's sales when compared to the 6 months ended December 2019. The business was also hit by the weakening of the shilling, which saw the cost of imports surge in the period under review. The company's performance was, however, resilient on the back of growth of sales in Tanzania and Uganda, even as Kenya reported a decline. EABL reported a net profit of 3.8 billion shillings in the 6 months ended December 2020. Lagdera residents have differed with the Interior Ministry following the ministry's move to move 8 locations from Garissa County to Isiolo County. The community says while the government may have made the move in good faith, it will likely spark inter-community clashes.
A sense of frustrations and anger glooms residents of Lagdera constituency following CS Fred Matiangi's move to relocate chiefs and their assistants from settlements administratively governed under Garissa County.
There were so many ministers that has gone through that office before him, and they never took this hasty decision, which he made last week. So we are very much angered as the community of Lagdera.
The CS Interior directives affects the locations of Janju, Barkuke, Gerse, Bulo, Eldere, Tokojo, Hadun, and Kambisamaki.
The CS directive places those locations in Isiolo County, and local leaders say fears of fresh conflict between Somali and Borana communities could lead to the closure of over 20 schools affecting over 10,000 learners.
There are people who have been living there since time immemorial. Their views and comments are very important. There is no public participation. Nobody has asked for their opinion. They have elected leaders.
Almost 20 primary schools in those centers. We have dispensaries. All of them are polling stations. We have chiefs, and we have been living in that area for the last 70 years.
On Wednesday, angry protesters took to the streets of Modogashe protesting the decision and appealed to the CS of Interior to rescind the directive, which they say will likely escalate the conflict between the two communities. They also want the affected areas' status to remain unchanged until an independent body is established by Parliament to look into the causes of the frequent conflict in the area.
We as the residents of Lagdera, we are very peaceful. We have lived with Borana for quite some time. We've even intermarried with them. So our brotherhood is still intact.
The two neighboring communities in Garissa and Isiolo counties have engaged in protracted conflict linked to resource sharing, which worsens during the dry spells when the herders fight over pasture and water. Salah Mohammed, NTV, Garissa County.
Some development news now. A special committee of cabinet secretaries inspecting government projects across the country have visited the stalled Itare Dam in Nakuru County. Construction at the 38 billion shilling water project discontinued 2 years ago after the Italian contractor CMC Di Ravenna filed for bankruptcy. The Vision 2030 water project was meant to serve Kericho, Nakuru and Bomet counties upon completion, but it now remains a ghost site with undergrowth colonizing some of the equipment left behind at the site. According to the Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency, the dam will be completed in 2023 as the government is currently looking for a contractor to continue with the work.
We are now at the Itare Dam project, which is one of the mega water projects in the country. And we have also appreciated the challenge that it's facing, but we also are confident that these are issues that can be dealt with in the relevant offices to unlock the challenges that are here so that this project can come to fruition.
To another dam story. Construction of a 24 billion shilling Karimenu 2 dam in Gatondo North is on course and will be completed by May 2022, giving a sigh of relief to water users in Ruiru, Juja, Gatondo and parts of Nairobi that were frequently hit by water scarcity. Led by PS of Public Works Gordon Kihalangwa, the government officials who toured the site noted that the project is already 35% complete. The project involves construction of a 59-meter high dam, 70 million litres per day water treatment plant, laying of more than 60 kilometers of raw and treated water transmission pipelines, and the construction of 23.5 million litres and 3 million litres reinforced concrete water storage tanks in Ruiru and Juja, respectively. Once complete, the project will have a reservoir capacity of 26.5 million cubic meters and serve more than 1 million residents of Juja, Ruiru, Gatondo North and Nairobi. In a bid to ensure girls remain in school during menstruation or, if you may, periods, a community-based organization in Garissa has taken up the task of issuing sanitary pads to girls in schools across the county. Lack of sanitary pads, coupled with the shame and fear that has unfortunately been associated with menstruation in some parts of the country, means that many adolescent girls are forced to miss school. And if girls are missing from classrooms, then that deprives them of getting a quality education. Speaking after donating pads to pupils of Jarirot Primary School, the founder of Girl Kind, Fatuma Ibrahim, said her objective was to ensure girls, especially those in the rural setup, get access to education without hindrance.
In the villages, these sanitary towels is a luxury. It's not like towns where we can buy sanitary towels. I can say now the whole of this Jarirot village, hata kuna duka moja inauza sanitary pads. Wasichana wakipata and their periods, they don't come to school. They stay, wanakaa nyumbani for like 5-6 days. So we are trying to teach these girls that they can say no to FGM. And FGM is harmful. We are teaching them the harmfuls of the FGM and those things.
On the international scene, experts from the World Health Organization have met Chinese officials today ahead of their first site visits in Wuhan for coronavirus origins probe, which will take place in a food market presumed to be ground zero of the pandemic. The field work was set to begin in earnest in the afternoon after being hobbled by delays and amid fears over access and the strength of evidence a year after the virus emerged. The team will visit hospitals as well as meeting scientists, first responders and some of the early patients to be hit by the then unknown coronavirus that has gone on to kill more than 2 million people across the world and flatline the global economy. Crucially, field visits will include the Wuhan Institute of Virology, Huanan Market, Wuhan CDC Laboratory, and the WHO said that in a tweet late Thursday, 3 sites now indelibly linked with the virus. In line with efforts to globally fight this pandemic, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres presented his priorities for 2021 to the General Assembly following a year crippled by the coronavirus pandemic and economic crisis, but with hope on the horizon thanks to vaccination campaigns. Guterres said the world needed to move from death to health, from disaster to reconstruction, from despair to hope, from business as usual to transformation, and stressed that the Sustainable Development Goals are more important than ever. Guterres said the first priority for 2021 is to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic, and vaccines are the first great moral test.
My message today for 2021 is a message of hope and determination. Hope, as I believe it's possible to change gear and put the world on the right track, and determination, as we must all do everything we can to make it happen.
Just before we wrap it up, let me just take one for the sports team. Juventus eased past second-tier Spal 4-0 to reach the last four of the Italian Cup. Juventus coach Andrea Pirlo made 9 changes to the side, which beat Bologna in Serie A on Sunday, with Cristiano Ronaldo rested from the matchday squad. But the record 13-time winners still made short work of Spal, the only lower league team to make the quarterfinals this season. Alvaro Morata scored a spot kick to open scoring before Gianluca Frabotta doubled the lead with his first senior goal after the half-hour mark. Dejan Kulusevski and Federico Chiesa scored in the second half. Earlier, 10-man Atalanta beat Lazio 3-2 to reach the semis.
Quarto golo da Juventus nos últimos segundos do período de compensação.
I'm sure a sports team is working on much more developments, especially as we get into the weekend. That's it for NTV News at 1. Be safe. I'm Mark Masai. Good afternoon.